If you've ever considered trying kink or BDSM, you are not alone. BDSM is one of the most popular sexual fantasies in America. And according to a 2017 study, approximately 30% of Americans have tried out some kind of bondage play. So what's the appeal? To begin with, BDSM encourages a state of flow, where you are so hyper-focused on what you're doing, the sensations, the power, the anticipation of it all, that you are literally forced to be present, rather than inhibited by a wandering mind. Now, for the person who is being tied up, blindfolded, or told what to do, BDSM can encourage something that practitioners call subspace, which is a highly pleasurable, hyper-focused state that feels almost like being in a trance, like a really good trance. It's the ultimate form of surrender, because someone else has become responsible for meeting your needs. For the person taking the lead, or the dom, BDSM offers pleasure in a sense of control. You get to dictate the unfolding of events, the administering of either pleasure or pain, or whatever other sensations. As the leader, you call the shots, as long as those shots are things that your sub has consented to. Now, if the idea of BDSM intrigues you but feels a little intimidating, consider the following rebrand. Instead of thinking of you and your partner as a dom and a sub, think of each other as a leader and a follower, the person who controls versus the person who surrenders. And remember that these roles can be fluid, so try out both. You might surprise yourself. There are 6 signs that your relationship will not last. Number 1, your relationship will not last if either you or your partner is putting in way more effort. If one partner is always communicating more, worrying more, reaching out more, then that dynamic will lead to resentment, which is the number 1 predictor of a breakup. Number 2, your relationship will not last if you can't stand their friends. This is because people choose friends based on what they have in common. This means that your partner's friends are likely very similar to them. So if you hate their friends, you're going to be really disappointed when that honeymoon stage ends, exposing the harsh reality that your partner is exactly like their friends that you hate. Number 3, your relationship will not last if you are constantly arguing. Now, conflict occurs in most relationships, and when navigated intentionally and thoughtfully, it can lead to closeness and connection and growth. But when partners instead start stonewalling, turning away from each other, or worse, hurling insults, they erode their relationship's foundation. Number 4, your relationship will not last if there is a lack of trust. Jealousy and insecurity are the kiss of death in any relationship. If you're constantly worried about who your partner is interacting with, who they're liking or following on social media, or who they're socializing with when you're not around, then that means that your relationship does lack trust. Number 5, your relationship's not going to last if you both just are at different phases of life. Sometimes the timing just isn't right and people have different goals or priorities. One person might be ready to nest and settle down, while another person still wants to be wild and free. What's important is that you don't stay stuck on people who want different things than you, because waiting for them to just change may never happen. And 6, your relationship won't last if there's a lack of intimacy, both physical and non-physical. If you aren't planning and prioritizing sex, if you're not making moments of connection where you just cuddle and touch and are near each other, closeness and connection in your relationship will start to dissipate. You know how when you're daydreaming or fantasizing about sex sometimes, there's an image of you in there looking all kinds of hot? It's called an embodiment fantasy, which is a very common phenomenon, especially among women. Now, some might believe that picturing how hot you look during sex is a little bit narcissistic, but I believe that a certain amount of narcissism and entitlement during sex are necessary in order to own your own pleasure. And in a culture that sexually objectifies women, is it really that surprising that we show up as sex objects in our own fantasies? Should women really be judged for that? Enter the boudoir shoot. It's time for a serious rebrand. Instead of it being about pleasing someone else, it's all about you. It's your personal testament to your confidence, your sexiness, and your unapologetic celebration of your own sexuality. That isn't objectification, that's a radical form of self